The light rain just stopped that afternoon. Residential streets, Eli on the corner of the city, seemed to glitter because the water that reflects the light of the street lamp. A luxury car stopped in front of the gate, but the door was not open. From inside, a handsome young man, wearing a simple suit that barely does not reflect its original status, staring blankly at the housing complex. The man is ARGA PRASETTIA, heir to one of the companies, the biggest property in the country. Presettia Group name plastered on almost every elite residential brochures circulating in the city. ARGA doesn't feel proud. For him, an abundant treasure only bring two-faced people. Those who approached because of money, not because of him. I just got back from a business trip to a foreign country. Since his return, his mother urged him to get married. List of prospective wife candidates from among conglomerates had piled up on his desk, but ARGA refused. He wants to find true love in his own way, without property, without his family's big name, because it's... This afternoon he carried out a ridiculous plan, posing as a janitor in one of the housing complexes whose company, waking up in uniform, shabby vest, rubber gloves, and broom in hand. ARGA tried to strip off his identity when he was busy sweeping the side yard. An empty example house. The cheerful voice of a child sounded. "Uncle, have we ever met ye?" ARGA turned her head. A boy about 7 years old stand in front of her. The black hair is kind of messy. Her round eyes sparkled with curiosity. "I think we're a lot alike," continued the boy, playing, while pointing at the face of ARGA. Stunned, he smiled clumsily. "Similar to time anyway." "Yes," exclaimed the boy. "I have a small mole on my right cheek. Uncle also has a price." Reflex touches his cheek. "Right, there's a little mole there." Just like the boy. The boy's name is... Uncle likes to eat what? French fries or steak? Ask more and more, as if they were already familiar. ARGA chuckled. "Why ask that?" "Because I'm allergic to seafood, and it says that people have the same allergies. Maybe they're related by blood." See third. This boy spoke innocently, but his heart was hit by a storm. Seafood allergy. He also has the same allergy. It rarely happens in his family. Continued to be what, uncle? "My father," you asked more suddenly with a serious face. The question pierced ARGA to the bone. He had never met this boy before. But her gaze is so familiar, so close, as if there were a bond that couldn't be explained. Before the ARGA can answer, a little running woman approached them, breathing hard, long black hair partially covering the face, and her eyes looked tired but still beautiful. "The more I told you." "Don't run far away," he exclaimed, pulling the boy's hand. "That woman is Raya." ARGA froze. That name he had heard. 5 years ago, his family was involved in a frenzied legal case. A woman named Raya, accused of injuring a wealthy heir at the wedding. The scandal got his name ruined. He languished in prison for years, leaving young children to foster. Her mother, who works as a maid. ARGA remembered the gossip vaguely, but never care now. The woman was standing right in front of her. "Sorry, sir," said Mireya Kaku. "Thought ARGA was just a janitor. My son does like to talk a lot. Don't take it personally." ARGA looked at him closely. There is a wound in the eyes of the highway. Deep wounds, but there's also a force that keeps him standing. "Upright is okay," replied ARGA softly. "Your son is so smart, more and more sullen. I told you. Maybe this uncle, my dad." More and more scolding. Her face flushed. "Don't talk carelessly. We go home now." ARGA can only stand stiff, watching their backs move away. But in his heart, something is shaking. Curiosity. Curiosity. A taste he had never experienced before. That night, in his luxury apartment hidden from the public, ARGA can't sleep. Gaze increasingly. His words, even that little mole, keep spinning in his head. "Don't tell me," he murmured, staring at the ceiling. "No, it's impossible." He never felt he knew Raya, let alone have kids with him. But why is this strange feeling getting stronger? ARGA remembers his youth. 5 years ago, at a big wedding he attended. for a while then go. That night he was very drunk. His memory is blurry, and a few days later, excited news about a woman named the Highway accused of injuring the groom decorate the newspaper. Is it possible? Arga shook his head hard. There's no way. Everything is as simple as that, but her heart can't calm down. In the meantime, in a small house on the outskirts of the city, Highway sitting on the edge of the bed, looking at his son who was fast asleep. Life is not easy. 5 years in prison ruined his reputation. Once free, he had trouble finding permanent job. Just by being a freelance property agent, it can survive. That's the only reason he keeps fighting. But the presence of a strange man named Arga this afternoon made his chest skip a beat. There's something on the highlight, the man's eyes that scared her. The secret he kept tightly will be exposed. Highway rubbed the cheek more gently. That's it, you can't expect too much. Papa, are you looking for? She might never come. But in his little heart, the Highway also wondered, why are you so similar to that guy? Arga can't help himself. He returned to the housing complex in disguise again. When looking at Highway working as a property agent, explain the house unit to potential buyers, he was secretly watching her. The way of speaking with confidence, though his face holds weary. The way he stares, his son waiting in the corner of the room, full of affection. It all makes you feel something different. Real warm and sincere, however. Not everyone is nice to you. Some of his co-workers are dismissive, even insulted his past. Former woman, a prisoner like him can sell such an expensive house, whispered one of the staff laughing. Arga clenched his fists. Want it to taste. He exposed his true identity and make all those people kneel. But he restrained himself. He should know first who really is Raya and what it has to do with her. That afternoon it was getting closer to Arga. The boy seemed to have a magnet pulling him. Uncle, why are you always here? Ask more innocent. Arga smiled faintly. Maybe because I want to make sure you and your mom are fine. Tilt the head. If Uncle is right, my father, why not tell frankly to Mama? See third. If I say, are you happy? Of course, increasingly exclaiming without hesitation. I don't care whether Uncle is rich or poor. I just want a father. Mama always looks sad. If there is an uncle, maybe Mama will be happy. Those words pierced the heart of Arga. Unconsciously he reached out, rubbing the head increasingly. There is a sense of warmth that is difficult to explain. From a distance, Raya saw that scene. His heart was beating fast, a mixture of fear and hope. Not everyone is happy with their closeness. From behind the glass of the marketing building, another woman noticed his gaze. Sharp, full of hate. That woman is Wenna, co-worker and former schoolmate. He knows the past, knows his weakness, and intends to use it to take him down. If it is true that the man approached the highway, murmured Wenna cold, then I have to make sure they're destroyed before you could be happy. Eid al-Fitr, like a shadow that continues to be hunted by the light of his past. No matter how far he tries to run, there is always a whisper, a look, even a mockery that reminds that he is ex-prisoner since free a year ago. He only has one purpose, raising the right way. He wants the child to grow without having to bear sins that are not his. That the world has never been friendly for people like him. Injuries 5 years ago. 5 years ago. That night is still vivid in my memory. It works. New time as a waitress at a big wedding. One of the families, conglomerate, a night that should be full of happiness, turned into hell. A wealthy man named Calvin Bayou was found lying with severe injuries on a hotel balcony. All evidence points to Raya, the last drink glass in his hand, fingerprints on the balcony handle. Even blurred eyewitnesses run away, recalling seeing her fight with Calvin. The universe cannot divide itself. He was drunk that night, after being forced to drink by guests. His memory is blurry, that he knows. So, aware, she had been hugged by the authorities, while Calvin was critical. Then coma, the court quickly ruled. 5 years in prison. Those days were like an endless nightmare. More painful, when she found out she was pregnant. Single mom with a past. You are ready, so Mum will take you to school. Exam that morning while preparing simple supplies. Can Ma Answer more cheerfully. The boy grew up cheerful. Even though their lives are mediocre, he never complained. Although you can only have breakfast with egg fried rice, makeshift for more and more. Enough there is his mother. But for Raya, his heart is always haunted by guilt. He could not give his son a father. At school, more and more often ridiculed by his friends. You are a child without a father. So ear-piercing scorn. Raya knows. That's why it's so easy to stick to the figure of the ARGA. ARGA who can't be silent. In the meantime, ARGA increasingly appear around the highway. And increasingly, he reasoned that he was taking odd jobs. As a janitor. Even though his heart was driven by curiosity. At the same time, a strange attachment to the boy. One afternoon, ARGA found, increasingly ganged up by two bad boys in the elementary school yard. Illegitimate children don't have fathers. Taunted one of the kids, almost crying, but trying to fight back. When the ARGA came, separating them. Hey, little boy, don't play rough. So exciting firmly. More and more immediately ran to hug ARGA. Their uncles are evil. ARGA's gaze hardened. He knew the feeling of being looked down on like that. He rubbed his head more and more. From now on, if someone bothers you, tell the same uncle yes, from afar watching. His heart mixed. He is grateful to have a protector, but also afraid. Getting closer to his son, the more likely the secrets he hides. Uncovered the conversation in the quiet night. That night when I was sleeping. Highway sitting on the porch of their tiny house. ARGA came with a plastic bag filled with fruit. To the more he said briefly. Highway accept awkwardly. You don't have to bother. ARGA smiled faintly. I'm sincere anyway. I enjoyed spending time with you guys. Why ask Raya? Be careful, you even just know us. This world is already cruel enough. Don't be easy to be kind to strangers. Later you will lose. ARGA looked at him deeply. If I say, I feel like I've known you for a long time, do you believe? Raya is blocked. The question pierced his memory, which he closed tightly. Party night 5 years ago. Blurred faces. The sound of laughter mixed with tears. And now a strange man says, as if he was part of her past, I don't need pity. Reply to cold Raya, I just want to live quietly with my son. ARGA did not give up Raya. I know you're hiding something. If there's anything I can do to help, let me do it. Raya stand up, holding back tears. Please don't interfere. I've been devastated enough. Don't drag yourself into my problems. He went inside. Home left ARGA glued to the porch. Shadow of the old enemy. On the other side of the city, the wealthy Bayou family still holds a grudge. Kelvin, who was now lying in a coma in the hospital, became a symbol of the destruction of their reputation. Her sister, Wena Bayou, was the woman who had noticed this afternoon. Highway from behind the office glass. He knew that he was close to another man. Especially someone who can protect her. The truth can stick out. Can't, whispered Wena in front of the mirror. His smile is slippery. That woman should stay under my feet. If necessary, I'll use his son to destroy him. Question increasingly. Days later, back to ask ARGA seriously. Uncle, why I look so much like you? Even our allergies to mama. Never want to tell. Who is my papa? Could it be that? Uncle, it's true, my papa. See third. Don't know what to answer. His heart trembled, but logic still refuses. He knew it couldn't be that easy. But when I see the eyes more expectant, he felt something strong, desire to protect this child. Whatever the truth is, said ARGA softly, I don't know if I'm your father or not. But I promise, as long as I'm here, I will always be there for you. Smiling broadly, then hugged ARGA tightly. Thank you, uncle. That alone is enough. Raya, crying from behind the door. Raya saw it all. Her tears fell unbearably. All this time he fought alone, bear the scorn of the world, raising a child without a father, and now a strange man just walked in. Fill that emptiness, but with a sense of emotion, appeared a great fear. If it is true that ARGA has a relationship with its dark past, then all secrets can be uncovered. And when that happened, not only was he broken, you will also suffer. Highway, grasping tightly chest, whispered softly, please don't fall in love with Ed. No more. ARGA, looking for answers. Can't stand the curiosity. Arga began to investigate the past. He asked his sidekick, Jaded, who secretly knows his true identity. In search of information, I need all the data on the case 5 years ago, said Arga. The woman's name Heir. And there was a boy born while he was incarcerated. Jaded was surprised. Arga, don't tell me you think the boy. Not necessarily. Cut Arga fast. I just want to know the truth. But deep inside, Arga afraid, what if true? More is his flesh and blood. What will happen if the secret is exposed to the public? That morning, the atmosphere of the office housing marketing feels more crowded than usual. A potential buyer. News is coming. And all staff are asked to be prepared. Highway, with a simple black blazer and a folder in hand, tried to cover his tired face last night. He could barely sleep thinking about the closeness. More with Arga. In the corner of the room, Arga standing in janitor uniform. Broom in hand is just camouflage. His gaze was never far from the highway. Mysterious prospective buyers. When the glass door was open, a man with sunglasses steps in. Simple appearance, plain t-shirt, jeans, and white sneakers. But the aura emanating from his body made some of the staff whisper. Who? He whispered one of the staff. His style is relaxed, but it's obvious that an important person. Heir approached warmly. Good morning, sir. Do you want to see certain housing units? The man pulled down his sunglasses. Faint smile appeared. I want the biggest type. There's a balcony and my shaped kitchen, right? Highway moving. It's a detail rarely called a regular prospective buyer. But before the highway could answer, another staff member interrupted sarcastically. Sorry, sir. Big type houses here cost billions. If you just look around without the intention of buying, better not waste our time. The man turned his head. Do I look like I can't afford it? The staff's slanted smile grew wider. To be honest, yes. Tense atmosphere. Highway hurriedly stepped forward. Please don't be so. We can't judge people by their appearance. Please, sir. Let me show you the unit. The man stared at the highway, then smiled smugly. You are smart. I love the way you. Heir nodded nervously, then took the man to the example house unit. Without realizing it, Arga followed from a distance. An exposed identity. Arriving at a large unit with a large balcony, the man removed his jacket. That's when one of the other marketing staff shouted in surprise. That's Sir ARGA PRASETTIA. Everyone suddenly fell silent. That name is so famous. Heir Presettia, giant property conglomerate group. Heir turned around quickly. Did the man smile widely? Yes, I am the owner of this complex. At the same time, someone you think is just a prankster. The staff who had insulted immediately turned pale. He bent down frantically. Sorry, sir. I don't know. Arga just waved a cold hand. You should be learning how to treat prospective buyers with respect. Arga's gaze then fell on the highway. The woman was still stunned. His face pale as you whispered. You're not a janitor. Arga sighed. He stared deeply at Heir. And more, who just ran over. Sorry, Heir. I am indeed no one. But not ordinary people either. Heir anger. After everyone dispersed, Heir looked at her family with fiery eyes. Why did you lie to me? His voice trembles. You pretend to be poor, pretending to be simple. Why make fun of poor me? Arga shook his head. No region. I just want to know who can accept me for who I am. I'm tired of being chased by women for money. And when I met you, and I feel different. Heir grunts bitterly. For you maybe this is a game, but to me, my life has been played too much. I don't need a rich man undercover, just to try to feel. Arga was silent. The words hit him hard. So many who do not understand completely. He approached and pulled Arga's hand. Mama, don't be angry. Uncle Arga is good. If he's rich, means we don't have to be hard anymore, right? Heir turned around quickly. More and more, don't talk like that. But the gaze is increasingly expectant. I like Uncle Arga. I want him to be my daddy. Heir covers her face with her hands. Her tears fell unbearably. Intrigue you. News of the disguise Arga quickly spread. In the corner of the marketing office, Wenna heard everything with a sly smile. So the man closed to the highway. Turns out the pre-loyal heir of his murmured group. Then, I can use this to take them down. That night, Wenna went to a fancy restaurant. Met a middle-aged man, uncle of the family Bayou, who still hold a grudge against the highway. Uncle said Wenna softly, "If we let Raya can get married with Arga, and if that happened, everyone will know the truth." 5 years ago, the uncle nodded coldly. "We shouldn't let that happen. Calvin is still in a coma. Our family name is ruined. That woman should still be the scapegoat." Wenna smiled. "Leave it to me. I know how." Inna wore Arga that night at his fancy house. Arga sitting in front of the window, gazing at the sparkling city. But her mind is messed up. He felt guilty for disguising himself. But he also could not release the highway. And just getting more and more. "Am I really stupid?" he muttered. "I'm the heir to endless wealth." But why one smile? It means more than all that. His phone is ringing. Add it across the Arga. "I got the case documents 5 years ago. And you should know something." Arga, stand up fast. "What is it accused of injuring Calvin Bayou?" But there were eyewitnesses who saw another man on the balcony before the incident, only that the witness mysteriously disappeared. Arga's heart beats fast. Means Raya could be innocent. "Not just that," continued Adit, "there's a high probability I was the son of the man that night. And you were at the party, right?" See third. Her memory goes back to that drunken night. The blurred face of a woman. Laughter mixed with tears. A quick kiss before dark. Is it possible? Cornered Raya. The next day, in the highway office called by the manager. In that room, Wenna was waiting with a triumphant smile. "Highway," said the manager. "There were reports that you hid the past. You're criminal from the company. Is it true that you've been in prison for 5 years?" Raya, speechless, his face pale. "If true," continued manager, "the company's reputation can be ruined. I have no choice but to fire you." Wenna looked satisfied. "What a pity. Your life is never far from prison." Raya gritted her teeth, holding back tears. "Yeah, I've been in jail, but I'm not innocent. Everyone says so. I don't want you." At that moment, door opened hard. Arga walked in with a cold face. "No one fires Highway without my permission," he said aloud. Everyone was speechless. Arga stepped forward, looked at the manager with a piercing gaze. "Raya works here on my consent. And if anyone dares to touch it, means against me." Managers immediately freaked out. "Of course not. My family is silent." Cut Arga. He then grabbed the hand of the Highway, pulled her out of the room. Raya tried to let go, but the Arga grip is too strong. "What are you doing?" Arga turned his head quickly. His gaze is full of determination. "From now on, I'll protect you. You and you won't be alone anymore." Heavy rain poured down on the city that night. Behind his windshield, Arga staring at the street with a grim face. The sound of water splashing seemed to collide with her mind in turmoil. Since his cover-up was revealed, the relationship with Raya is getting more complicated. That woman can't believe it anymore, even more attached to it. But one thing makes Arga can't back down. The truth about the past. Tangled thread. In his private study, Arga opened Macy. Search result documents. Add it. Black and white photos from the news 5 years ago emblazoned. In the front yard, pale young Raya face, with captions. "Young woman arrested for attempted murder. Calvin Bayou." Arga tracing. Details. All the evidence seems to point to the Highway. But it feels too neat, too perfect for a coincidence. "I'm sure there's something to hide. Mom. If it is guilty, why no witness dares to speak? And why is he the scapegoat?" On another table, photos are lying. The boy smiled innocently, similar to herself. Arga held the photo tightly. "If it's true you're my son, I won't let anyone hurt you anymore." The pain that didn't go away in his little house. Leia sit beside the Moor who fall asleep. He looked at his son's face with love. "I promise to protect you more and more. Even though everyone accuses Mom of being bad. You should know, Mama never intended to hurt anyone." But in his heart, there are other fears. If Calvin one day wakes up from a coma, what will happen? Will he sue? Whether will be considered an illegitimate child of the Dark Knight. Her tears dripping. "God, Don't let this secret be revealed. Please investigate ARGA. Days later, ARGA came to the hospital where Kelvin was being treated. The VIP room was full of medical equipment. Kelvin's body lay weakly with his eyes closed. A middle-aged doctor welcomed. The patient's condition is stable, but the odds are aware. Still 50-50. ARGA staring deep. If he realizes, can you remember what happened 5 years ago? Hard to predict. He could have amnesia. You can also remember everything. ARGA sighed heavily. If Kelvin really remembers, then the secret of who is with the highway that night could be uncovered. When he was about to go out, the sound of rushing steps was heard. Wenner walked in with a wrathful face. Why? You're here? He asked sharply. I just want to know Kelvin's condition. Answer ARGA flat. You Mendengis. Don't pretend to care. You just want to split that cheap woman, right? ARGA staring intently. Be careful talking highway. Innocent. Innocent. Wenner laughed sarcastically. If not him, who else knocked Kelvin off the balcony? All the evidence was on her. ARGA did not answer. He just stepped away, leaving Wenner with a look full of hatred. Getting bullied at school, back to being the target of ridicule. Some kids pointed at it while laughing. That's a son who doesn't have a father. He said his mother had been in jail. Looking down, his eyes are tearing up. But this time, he tried to fight. I don't have a father, but I have an Uncle ARGA, and he's way better than your dad. The children were speechless, then laughed harder. But suddenly, a heavy voice sounded. Who dares to insult more? All turned their heads. ARGA stood at the school gate with a cold face. The children immediately ran scared, running closer, hugging ARGA tightly. Uncle ARGA squatting, rubbing the head increasingly. From now on, don't be afraid. You're not alone. From a distance, Raya saw that scene. His heart trembled again. He knows ARGA sincere, but the closer the man gets, the more fragile the secret stronghold. Secret meeting. That night ARGA met Adit in a quiet cafe. I found something, said Adit while taking out the flash. There's old CCTV footage hidden. Not whole but clear enough. ARGA staring at the laptop screen. Picture. Frosted revealing a tall man in a suit, black into the balcony. Before Kelvin fell, his face is not very clear, but definitely not the highway. ARGA clenched his fists. Means right. There was someone else that night. Raya is innocent. Adit nodded. But be careful. If Bayou's family finds out you're investigating, they won't shut up. ARGA sighed. I don't care. I just want to clear the name. Take care of yourself. The next day, Raya gets a call from an unknown number. If you're still close to ARGA, be prepared to lose your child. A cold female voice sounded. Raya was surprised. Who is this cynical laughter sounding? You know who I am. Don't you dare go against Bayou's family. Raya is shaking. He knew it was a Wenner voice. He hurried to pick me up at school, afraid of something happening. On the road ARGA appeared. Offered a ride. You're so pale. What's up is okay. Answer Raya quickly. ARGA stared at him for a long time. If anyone threatens, tell me. I'll protect you. Highway grasping tightly hands increasingly. Not ARGA. The closer you get to us, it is more and more dangerous. Please don't interfere. He turned his eyes wet. I can't lose my son. ARGA was silent. He wants to force, but seeing that look full of fear, he chose silence. But in my heart, he swore, will not let anyone touch the highway and more. Kelvin moved that night. In the hospital, the nurse was surprised when she saw Kelvin's finger moving slowly. The heart rate monitor is beeping faster. The doctor showed the patient signs of consciousness. The news spread quickly. Someone at home immediately received a phone call. Her face is tense. If Kelvin realizes, the truth can be revealed through his mumbling. But am I ready to hear it? Katit can make mistakes. The atmosphere of the hospital that night was filled with tension. Doctors and nurses rushed in. Kelvin's room. The man's body is moving slowly. Her eyes are trying to open. After 5 years of coma, the miracle finally came. Raya heard the news from the television in the waiting room. Her body is immediately suffocating. If Kelvin realizes, Everything will be revealed. On the other hand, Arga quickly walked towards the VIP room. Her heart is pounding hard, not just because Kelvin is going to talk, but because of the answer he's been looking for all this time. Maybe it's already in front of our eyes. Kelvin is aware. Indoors. Kelvin slowly opened his eyes. Her perspective is blurry, but he can hear voices. The doctor is approaching. Calm down. You are already safe, Mr. Kelvin. Don't push your body too hard. Just take it easy. Arga is standing next to the bed, staring intently at Kelvin. She spoke softly. Do you remember what happened 5 years ago? Kelvin is working on his lips. Trembling, hoarse voice. Go out to the balcony. There is someone pushing me. Take 1 step forward. Who is celebrating the festival? Kelvin shook his head slowly. It's not that woman. Trying to help me. But there's another man. Everyone is silent. Arga feels relieved. Finally, the truth is starting to come out. Who is that man? Kelvin insists on closing his eyes. He's so weak. I saw a ring mark on his finger. He's not a stranger, but my own family. The truth that shakes. Arga left the room with a tense face. Kelvin's words are still echoing in my ears. My own family. That means all this time, Raya is just a victim. Someone from the Bayou family who actually brought down Kelvin, then inflict all the mistakes on Hari Raya. But who exactly is it? Meanwhile, you look panicked after hearing the news. Kelvin is aware. He hung up the phone with trembling hands. No, I can't. If my sister talks, all plans are ruined. I have to stop it. Raya is in a corner. The next day is Hari Raya received a lawyer's summons. Bayou's family accusing him of trying to get close to Arga for his wealth and warning that the case, it can be reopened forever. Raya is crying in her small house. She is trying to wipe away her tears. Ma, don't be sad. There is Uncle Arga. He will definitely help us. Raya is hugging tighter and tighter. That's exactly what Mom is afraid of. Uncle Arga is getting closer to us. More and more bad people are coming. Arga proved his love that night. Arga is coming. His face is full of determination. I already know the truth. You're not guilty. Kelvin himself said it. There are other people who have let him down. Raya is surprised. So, all this time, I've really been a victim? Arga nodded. Yes, and I promise to clear your name. Tears are flowing. He covered his face with both hands, sobbing. For 5 years, the world accuses him, and now there is someone who believes in Argus. Why have you been defending me all this time? Arga is approaching, holding her hand. Because I love you so much. Not as a wealthy heir. Not out of pity. I'm in love for a woman who dares to fight the world for her child. Raya stared at his trembling eyes. She wants to believe, but the fear is still holding me back. If everyone opposes us, Arga smiled faintly. So let them be. I will still stand by your side. Last attack winner. Shortly thereafter, a video splashed across social media, performing the highway at party night 5 years ago, with manipulative narratives that he was the one who encouraged Kelvin. Media excited. Netizens blasphemed again. Cheap woman. Deserved to be imprisoned. Raya covered her ears and cried. Family immediately held a press conference. He said in front of the camera, Raya is a victim of my slander. ARGA PRASETTIA guaranteed his innocence. If anyone dares to touch him, mean against my. Cheers and camera flashes fill the room. Arga courage surprised many parties. Behind the scenes, Wenna grinding her teeth. You think you can win this game? Arga not necessarily. Secret end. Days later, Kelvin was sent home under close supervision. He called Arga personally. Arga, I remember more clearly now. Kelvin said in a weak voice. That night I was drunk. I got into a fight with my uncle about the inheritance. He pushed me. Leia is there, trying to help. But all too late. Arga was silent, his heart mixed. So you're sure it's not the highway? Kelvin nodded. Yes, he is innocent. Kelvin stared at the more and more photos lying on the table. And that kid, not my blood. But don't let that be an excuse to stay away from her. He needs a father. See third. In his heart, he already knows the answer. It's not about blood, but about the love he feels. Big decision that night. Heir took the highway and increasingly to a city park. The dim lights illuminate their faces. Raya said Arga seriously, kneeling in front of him. I don't care about your past. I don't care the world accuses. What I know. Love you. And I love, more like my own son. Will you marry me? Raya covered her mouth with sobbing hands. His heart was at war, but finally he nodded. He saw. I want to clap more and more cheerfully. Hooray! I have Papa now. Arga hugged them both. Her tears fell. For the first time in life. It feels completely whole. Epilogue: a few months later, wedding. Simple but warm held. Not a grand party full of two-faced guests, but rather a small event with people that are genuinely sincere, holding hands tightly on the altar, increasingly standing between them, smiling broadly. Then Arga whispered to himself, I'm no longer looking for true love, because now I've found it.